Stop wasting $200 every season on multiple garden sprays when the answer may already be sitting in your bathroom cabinet. Over the next 10 minutes, you will discover 7 tested ways to use hydrogen peroxide that can turn a $1 bottle into a powerful garden solution. But there is an important warning. Applying the wrong mixture to fungal problems can scorch leaves and cause serious damage. Stay tuned for use number 5. It is the $30 root recovery method passed down from my grandmother, and it is the step many gardeners overlook. According to EPA fact sheet 00595, hydrogen peroxide is registered as a biopesticide. That means $1 compared with $200 a season. Gardeners have relied on it for years. What many never understood was the science explaining why it works. One of these 7 methods can even replace the most expensive product sitting on your shelf. The first 3 uses focus on pests attacking plants right now, but the 5th method is the real secret. It helps revive unhealthy roots and can take the place of the costliest bottle in your gardening supplies. We begin with the quickest solution because if pests are already causing problems, this is the first step to take. Imagine stepping outside and finding that the gnats are gone. The entire fix cost about $1. The first method targets aphids. This is the 24-hour solution mentioned earlier. If your rose bushes currently look overwhelmed by insects, this is the mixture to prepare tonight. There is no need to visit a garden center. Take standard 3% hydrogen peroxide, the inexpensive bottle available at nearly any pharmacy. Combine 1 part peroxide with 10 parts water inside a clean spray bottle. Nothing more is needed. Remember the ratio, 1 part to 10 parts. Write it directly on the bottle if necessary. Spray every leaf thoroughly, including both the upper and lower surfaces. The underside is especially important because aphids gather there, feed there, and deposit eggs there. A quick safety reminder. Once the 1 to 10 mixture has dried, it is generally considered safe around dogs and children. However, the bottle itself should still be stored securely, just as you would any gardening product. In most cases, within 24 to 48 hours, soft-bodied pests begin to die after contact. The peroxide works by oxidizing their outer covering. In simple terms, it breaks down the protective layer they need to stay alive. This is especially valuable in food gardens because the substance eventually decomposes into water and oxygen after completing its task. There is no residue left on edible crops. There is no toxicity added to the soil. Beneficial insects, including ladybugs arriving after the spray has dried, are not harmed. The plants continue growing as though nothing happened. That addresses aphids. But what about the pest that often goes unnoticed until major damage has already occurred? The second method focuses on spider mites. These tiny pests are among the most destructive threats in a garden. By the time delicate webbing becomes visible on tomato leaves, the infestation has usually been active for weeks. The same 1 to 10 mixture is used. However, the treatment method changes completely. With spider mites, the goal is total saturation rather than a light mist. Soak the entire plant, cover the stems, spray beneath the leaves, treat the soil surface where the mites often drop and reproduce. Repeat the process every 3 days for a full 2 weeks. That schedule may seem excessive, but spider mites reproduce every 3 to 5 days. Timing is critical because each application targets newly hatched generations before they mature, lay eggs, and restart the cycle. 2 pest problems are now covered. 5 more uses remain. The third method is the one that sparks debate in nearly every gardening forum. The third method targets fungus gnats and whiteflies through a soil drench. These insects spend their early life stages beneath the soil surface, not on the foliage. Spraying leaves has no real effect because the larvae remain underground, feeding on plant roots at this very moment. Instead of directing the mixture onto the plant, pour the same 1 to 10 solution straight into the soil. Completely saturate the upper 2 inches of growing medium. You will notice bubbling as the hydrogen peroxide reacts. That fizzing action delivers oxygen while eliminating larvae on contact. As an added benefit, it loosens compacted soil and improves aeration. Plants respond positively to that extra oxygen. Apply the treatment once each week for 3 weeks. After that, the gnat problem is typically gone. By the second week, fewer insects will be hovering around during watering sessions. Growth often improves as well because roots finally have access to better airflow. When infestations are especially heavy, the application can be increased to twice during the first week. 3 pest issues have now been addressed using a single bottle. The next 2 applications are where hydrogen peroxide delivers the greatest savings. They are also the areas where gardeners most frequently make mistakes with dilution ratios. A viewer from Texas recently shared that the next mixture helped save her tomato bed after powdery mildew nearly destroyed it. Pay close attention to this one. The fourth method is a fungicide treatment. Powdery mildew, black spot, and leaf blight can leave plants looking as if they have been dusted with flour. This mixture is designed for those situations. For fungal problems, the concentration becomes stronger. Mix 1 part 3. Percent hydrogen peroxide with 5 parts water. The correct ratio is 1 to 5, not 1 to 10. Many people make mistakes here, so remember it carefully. The increased strength is necessary because fungal spores possess protective cell walls that are tougher than the bodies of soft insects. A 1 to 10 solution is usually not strong enough for this task. Spray affected foliage until liquid begins running off the leaves. Cover every visible white area. Do not overlook the stems. Hydrogen peroxide moves through the fungal cell wall and breaks it down from within. In most cases, white patches begin turning brown within 48 hours. That discoloration is a sign the mildew is dying. Repeat the application once weekly until fresh growth appears clean and healthy. Because the peroxide eventually becomes water and oxygen, no additional chemicals are introduced into edible gardens. A single bottle mixed at the 1 to 5 ratio can replace a $15 fungicide spray that performs the same function. Now comes the fifth method. This is the application that can replace the most expensive product in many gardening collections. Earlier, it was mentioned as the biggest money-saving technique of all. If you have followed this far, you are about to learn the single use that can save more money than the other 6 methods combined. Do not rush past this section. The dilution ratio is different from every mixture discussed so far, and using the wrong amount can destroy the plant. The fifth method is root rot recovery. This is the $30 alternative. Many gardeners purchase costly root treatment products, yet hydrogen peroxide can perform the same role for only a fraction of the cost. Root rot develops when soil remains excessively wet. Under those conditions, anaerobic bacteria begin attacking root systems. For root rot treatment, combine 1 part 3% hydrogen peroxide with 2 parts water. This 1 to 2 mixture is the strongest solution used in these methods, and accuracy matters. If the mixture is too weak, harmful bacteria remain alive. If it is too strong, already damaged roots experience even more stress. Remove the plant from its container. Shake away as much old soil as possible. Place the entire root ball into the solution and allow it to soak for 30 minutes. After 30 minutes, remove the plant and inspect the roots. Any sections that are black, soft, or mushy should be cut away using clean scissors. Before trimming, disinfect the scissors with hydrogen peroxide. Replant using fresh, dry soil. Avoid watering for 3 days. Give the root system time to recover. When the problem is discovered early, survival rates can be surprisingly high. Plants that appeared completely lost have been restored using this exact approach. Every spring, my grandmother kept a bottle of peroxide inside her garden shed. She would add a capful to her watering can. Her phrase for it was waking up the dirt. Only now is science catching up with what she had already learned through experience. The important thing is acting quickly. Do not wait another week, expecting the problem to resolve on its own. 5 methods are now complete. 2 more remain, along with 3 common mistakes that can make all these efforts ineffective. The first mistake is something most gardeners do automatically without ever realizing it. The 6th method focuses on prevention rather than treatment. Instead of waiting for trouble to appear, you stop problems before the first seed ever reaches the soil. Before planting, place seeds in a 1 to 10 hydrogen peroxide solution for 20 minutes. The peroxide helps soften the outer seed coating. That can improve germination speed. More importantly, it eliminates fungal spores and bacteria that may be present on the seed surface. Each planting begins with a clean start. For soil preparation, apply the same 1 to 10 mixture to planting beds 1 day before sowing. This treatment sanitizes the upper layer of soil while leaving beneficial organisms deeper below, largely unaffected. 6 applications from 1 bottle, yet the 7th method is often ignored completely. Skipping this step is one of the easiest ways for disease to move from a single plant to the entire garden. The 7th use is tool sanitation. Whenever a diseased branch is pruned or an infected plant is removed, bacteria and fungal spores can remain on pruning shears, trowels, and gloves. The next healthy plant touched by those tools can become part of the same infection cycle. Keep a container of straight 3% hydrogen peroxide near your gardening workspace. After each cut, immerse the tool for 10 seconds. No dilution is required for this purpose. 3% hydrogen peroxide is safe for metal surfaces and strong enough to destroy pathogens found on the exterior of tools. This single habit prevents more disease transmission than many sprays ever could. 7 uses, 1 bottle. Now comes the problem. Most gardeners make 3 mistakes that render hydrogen peroxide almost useless. The first mistake is also the most widespread, using it without dilution. This recommendation appears all over the internet, but it should be avoided. Applying straight 3% hydrogen peroxide directly onto plants can scorch foliage. Brown spotting often appears within hours and may look worse than the original pest damage. The concentration is simply too strong for living plant tissue. Dilution is essential. It is the foundation of making these methods effective. The second mistake is spraying under direct sunlight. Ultraviolet light breaks hydrogen peroxide down very quickly. If application happens at midday on a bright sunny day, much of the peroxide begins turning into ordinary water before it can even reach the target pest. The effort is lost almost immediately. Apply treatments during the early morning or late evening when sunlight is weaker. Cloudy conditions work well too. The objective is to provide enough contact time before ultraviolet light destroys the active ingredient. The third mistake is relying on an old bottle. Hydrogen peroxide gradually loses strength with age. This process accelerates once the seal has been opened. A bottle sitting in a bathroom cabinet for 2 years may have little effectiveness remaining. There is a simple test. Pour a small amount onto a cut potato. If bubbles appear, the product is still active. If there is no reaction, discard it and purchase a fresh bottle. Store it sealed in a cool, dark location. Replace it every 6 months after opening. Those 3 mistakes determine whether these methods succeed or become a complete waste of effort. At this point, all 7 uses and all 3 mistakes have been covered. Before finishing, there's one final summary worth writing down. Keep these 3 ratios in mind. Use 1 to 10 for pest control. That includes aphids, spider mites, fungus gnats, and whiteflies. It also applies to the seed soaking method. Use 1 to 5 for fungal problems. That ratio is intended for powdery mildew, black spot, and leaf blight. Use 1 to 2 for root rot. This is the emergency recovery mixture and the application that can replace the most expensive treatment product on the shelf. Undiluted 3% hydrogen peroxide should be reserved only for tool sanitation. 7 uses, 3 ratios, $1 for a bottle, potentially replacing more than $200 in gardening products each season. Remember that EPA fact sheet 00595 lists hydrogen peroxide as a registered biopesticide, not merely a household remedy, a registered biopesticide. When someone asks why your garden looks healthier this year, the answer may be surprisingly simple: a $1 bottle. If you found these methods useful, share this information with other gardeners who may benefit from it. Keep those ratios handy, protect your roots, and help your plants stay healthy throughout the season.